Good morning, students. Yesterday we learned the introduction part of statistics. What is statistics? What is data? What are the various types of data? That is primary and secondary data. The information which is collected is classified into primary and secondary data. But as soon as the work related to collection of data is over, the investigator has to find out ways to present them in a form which is meaningful, easily understood, and give its main features at a glance. Now let us see an example. These are the marks of 10 students in mathematics test. The data obtained in this form is called a raw data. Now by looking at this, if you are asked to find out the highest and the lowest marks, you can tell the highest and the lowest marks, but it will be time consuming. Now what will happen if I arrange these data or arrange these marks in the ascending or the descending order? Then again, if you are asked to find out the highest and the lowest marks, it will be much easier. So the difference of the highest and the lowest values in the data is called the range of the data. So range is equal to highest minus lowest value in the given data. Now this is possible when the number of observation is less. Now what will happen if the number of observation is large? Suppose instead of 10 students there are 30 students. Will it be easier to find out would it be easier to find out this marks or arrange this data easily? No. In that case, when the number of observations in an experiment is large, let us see this example. What we will do, here the marks of 30 students are given. Okay. Now here when you see these marks, what you will find out that there are many students who are getting 70 marks also. Here we can find out that there are about 4 students, 1, 2, 3, 4 students getting 70 marks. In this case, what do we will do? We will arrange these data in a tabular form to make the data more easily understandable. So let us see what we will do. So we will write down the marks obtained by the students. Now their marks is in the range of 10 to 95. We will see the lowest marks is 10 obtained by a student and the highest marks obtained is 95. Now we will count the number of students, how many students are getting 10 marks, 20 marks and so on. The number of students who are getting this much marks is also called the frequency. So this type of table is called an ungrouped frequency distribution table or simply a frequency distribution table. Now this is also when this method is used when the number of observation is comparatively larger. But when the number of observation is more than this, suppose there are 100 students or 100 observations, in that case we will use another method. Now let us take another example in which 100 plants each were planted in 100 schools during one Mahotsav. After 1 month, the number of plants that survived were recorded as. So these are the observations or data obtained for 100 plants in 100 schools. In this case, for such a large amount of data, what we will do, we will condense it into groups, means we will group it like 20 to 29, 30 to 39 and so on. Because when you will see the question, you will find out that the lowest observation is 23 and highest observation is 98. These groupings are called classes or class intervals. And the size is called the class size or class width. So suppose it is 20 to 29. You can see here 20 to 29, 30 to 39 and so on. In that case, what you will see, this 20 is called the lower class limit, which is the least number, and 29 is called the upper class limit. You all have learned the tally mark in your previous classes also. So whatever frequency between 20 to 29, how many plants are there or how many schools are there, 30 to 39, how many schools are there, and so on. You will just see the figure, see the observation and note it down. And then you will make the tally marks. 1, 2, 3 we do, 4, and then we cut it. Fifth part we cut it as a tally mark. So presenting data in this form simplifies and condenses data and enables us to observe certain important features at a glance. This is called the grouped frequency distribution table. So we have learnt ungrouped frequency table and grouped frequency table. Now suppose here what do we find that 20 to 29, 30 to 39. These are the plants, so it's okay. But suppose now there are students whose weight is between 20 to 29, 30 to 39. In that case, now suppose a student is there whose weight is 30.5 or 29.5. In that case, where you will put this? In which table we will put it? For that, what do we do? Let us see an example. There is a frequency distribution table which gives the weights of 38 students. Weight is given in the form 31 to 35. Within the range of 31 to 35, 9 students are there. 36 to 40, 5 students are there, and so on. Now suppose 2 new students of weight 35.5 kg and 40.5 kg are admitted. So in which interval we will include them? We cannot add them in the ones ending with 35 or 40. Why? Because there is a gap in between the upper and lower limits of the two consecutive classes. What do you find? That the lower limit in this and the upper limit in this case is 35 and the lower limit is 36. So there is a difference of 1. So what we will do? We will make this table a continuous frequency table or continuous class table. In that case, what do we do? 31 to 35 and 36 to 40. If we take these two classes, the lower limit is 36 and the upper limit of 31 to 35 is 35. So what is the difference? 36 minus 35, that is 1. So just you divide by 2. So 1 by 2 equals to 0.5. In that case, what we will do? We will just subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit. So 31 minus 0.5 will be equal to 30.5, and we will add 0.5 to the upper class limit. So 35.5 plus 35 plus 0.5 equals to 35.5. Similarly, you will go on doing this. You will subtract from the lower limit and add to the upper limit whatever value comes here. Okay, that is 0.5. So we will make the continuous class interval, that is 30.5 to 35.5, 35.5 to 40.5, and so on. Students, always remember that whenever we make this type of frequency table in which it is called a continuous class interval, in that case what do? We don't take into consideration the upper class limit 35.5. Suppose that the students are there in which 35 whose weight, one student is there whose weight is 35.5. So we will not add that student in this range. We will always take into consideration the lower class interval, because if you add in both the classes, it will be counted twice. So today we have learnt about the range of data, the class intervals, class size, grouped frequency table, and ungrouped frequency table. So students, let us start with exercise 14.2. Here the blood groups of 30 students of class 8 are recorded. So it is given here, you just see it. Represent this data in the form of a frequency distribution table. Which is the most common and which is the rarest blood group among these students? When you see these observations, you will find that there are 4 blood groups. There are 4 blood groups, A, B, O and AB. So we will just convert them into tabular form. So we will make 2 tables, blood group and number of students or frequency. You can write down frequency here also. So there are 4 blood groups, A, B, O and AB. First of all, you will write down this. Then you will start counting from here, from the book only, from the question only, that how many students are there with group A. So when you will count it, you will find that the students with blood group A are 9. Just write down 9. Similarly, when you will count the number of students with blood group B, you will find them as 6. With O 12 and AB 3. When you add them, always remember students, when you add the frequency, it should be always equal to the total number which is given in the question. So when you add them, it is given, we are getting 30. So how many students were there? It is 30 only. Now the next question is, which is the most common? So what you will find out the frequency. Which is the highest frequency? 12. So most common blood group is O. And which is the rarest blood group? So in which blood group the number of students are the least? You will find it as AB. So AB is the rarest blood group. Now let us see the next question. It is given the distance in kilometer of 40 engineers from their residence to their places of work were found as follows. So these are the distance of the 40 engineers from the residence to the place of work. Construct a grouped frequency distribution table with class size 5. Class size 5 means that the class width of the list of the upper and the lower class limit will be 5. Given are above, taking the first interval as 0 to 5. 5 not included. I told you that whenever we make a continuous frequency distribution table, we don't take the upper limit into consideration. Always remember this, students. So here we will not take 5 into consideration. What main features do you observe from this tabular representation? So first of all, we will make the distribution table as 0 to 5. Now what you will do, you will find out that here it is given we have to start with 0 to 5, because when you will see this, you will find that the lowest is 2 kilometer, okay, and the highest goes to, when you see this data, you will find out that the least distance is 2 kilometer and the maximum distance is 32 kilometer. But we have to make the class interval of, or class size of 5, that is 0. We will start with 0 to 5 and we will continue till 35, that is 30 to 35, because 32 will lie between 30 to 35. So just we will do this. We will make the distances like this: 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and so on till 35, because maximum is 32 and we cannot write down directly 32 because we have to make a class size of 5. Now when you will see the table, you will find out that between 0 to 5, 5 will be not included. It is, there are how many engineers? 5 engineers live there within the distance of 0 to 5. Then 5 to 10, again remember students, the upper limit is not taken into consideration. So between 5 to 10, 11, 10 to 15, 11 and so on. When you will just go on writing, the total you will get it as 40. Now after this you make a tally mark: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Similarly here also you make it 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the fifth part we cut it. It is 1, 1 and 2. Okay. So in this way you have to make it. Now what is the next question? It is given that what main features do you observe from this tabular representation? What do you observe from this representation? That the distance from the residence of their workplace for the maximum number of engineers is in the interval of 5 to 10, and 10 to 15 kilometer. You can find it out. It is between 5 to 10 and 10 to 15 kilometer. So students, first and second question I have done for you. You do question number 3 and 4 as a homework. Thank you.